it's another story, right?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Okay. After announcing new tariffs on steel and aluminum, President Donald Trump is tweeting today about the potential positive effects of an international trade war.
And we have 2 mild days, then Old Man Winter screams back into KOTA territory on Sunday.
And if you just can't wait for spring, we have some planting tips coming your way that'll brighten up your weekend.
From Skyline Drive, this is KOTA Territory News at Noon.
Welcome to KOTA Territory News at Noon. I'm Mary Helen Jones. Thank you for spending part of your Friday with us. President Donald Trump announced yesterday that the U.S. will impose tariffs on steel and aluminum imports starting next week. He wants to see a 10% tariff for aluminum and a 25% tariff for steel, but the announcement left markets upended and his own party confused. ABC's Serena Marshall has more from Washington.
It's a potential trade war started by the president. This morning in a tweet, writing, when a country is losing many billions of dollars on trade with virtually every country it does business with, trade wars are good and easy to win. The possible global fight after the president announced an unlimited 25% steel tariff and 10% aluminum tariff.
Thank you very much.
He claims to help level the playing field. Surrounded by industry executives, he said what's happening to U.S. steel and aluminum companies is disgraceful.
They've been decimated. Aluminum has been decimated in the country.
The new tariffs, which effectively taxes every foreign shipment of the metals to the U.S., sparked a big drop in the Dow yesterday, losing more than 400 points. And Asian markets also closed lower.
I think it was Coors Light released an announcement.
As the tax could be passed
Coors Light released an announcement about this because of the aluminum.
Soda, beer, cars, and building materials.
We've heard from a handful of companies speaking out against this. For example, Molson Coors, where we're unclear yet what it will specifically do to prices. They are saying that U.S. consumers would surely suffer.
The news also brought immediate backlash from an unexpected place: the president's Republican allies.
It looks like I'm hedging. That's because I am.
Utah Republican and chairman of the Senate Finance Committee, Orrin Hatch, in a statement said the president should carefully consider all of the implications.
The international reaction was swift, with Canada and the EU saying they'll take responsive measures. The tariffs expected to begin next week. Serena Marshall, ABC News, Washington.
Let's turn now to KOTA territory and check in on the forecast with meteorologist Eric Gardner.
And a beautiful day outside today. Get outside and enjoy it. Already in the mid-50s in town Rapid City, but by Sunday late through Monday, it's a whole different ballgame. Winter storm watch in effect. Now, Rapid City is right there. Actually, it does not include Rapid City, but this is from late Sunday through Monday night. The combination of snow, blowing snow, maybe freezing drizzle and freezing rain. It's going to be a mess later on in the weekend. But today, there it is, 55 degrees already in downtown Rapid City. This is our Golden West Weather Camera at Gunderson Palmer Law Firm. Plenty of sunshine and a few high clouds, but otherwise a nice spring-like day. We'll see this 55-degree temperature the next couple of hours, falling into the 40s this evening. Tomorrow morning, not really all that cold considering the fact it's early March. Down to 32. Tomorrow, not bad, but Sunday, bad. We'll tell you all about it a bit later on. Mary Helen.
Thanks, Eric. We start with a subject affecting the entire state. Suicide numbers for last year are projected to be a record in South Dakota, and with that troubling news, the state has released online suicide prevention toolkits. Suicide is the 9th leading cause of death in South Dakota and the 2nd leading cause of death for people ages 15 to 34. And here are some ways to get help. 1-800-273-TALK is the national hotline. In addition, state agencies have created toolkits for communities to engage in suicide prevention.
It's a wealth of information. It can be a bit overwhelming when you see drop-down arrows and just tons and tons of different information, but we've kind of tailored it to specific demographics. The toolkits are how to help teens and youth, how to help the military and veteran population, how to help and target our Native American population.
You can go to our website at kotatv.com to find all of the phone numbers and information as well. And switching gears now, yesterday was the first day of meteorological spring, a time where many start to get anxious for the upcoming spring season. And one way we do that is by getting outside and planting. Jolly Lane Greenhouse is open throughout the year, and after a slow winter, business is starting to pick up. This time of year can bring sunshine and warm weather or snow and cold weather, so it's important to not plant too early even if it's nice outside. Even though it's early to start planting outdoors, it is a good time to do some other things.
A lot of people are starting to consider starting some of their own seedlings indoors in the house for their garden. We're a little early for some things, but some of the longer term growing stuff, people are starting to get all the supplies ready, the trays and the soil mix, and we have our full selection of seeds, of course, and everything. So it's time to start putting those things in order.
Syme says we're still close to a month out until some of the more resilient crops like potatoes and onions can be safely planted. And going green can be good for the environment, but also good for the bank account. That's what students from the School of Mines proved. They ran a comprehensive audit on the city's school administration center. The students found that by switching lighting fixtures, adjusting the HVAC system, and eliminating extra office equipment, the city could save more than $200,000 and lessen its carbon footprint.
Energy savings as well as the environment and going greener, it's something that we all try to approach and try to achieve, and I think that these findings will assist our building committee, and especially now with the transition of the school district out of this building and the city taking over the entire building, those recommendations will be very helpful moving forward.
The students also mentioned for any other business looking to become a little greener, start by reducing energy use before investing in renewable energy sources. And coming up, we take a look at the top consumer headlines of the day, including Equifax releasing new information on the hack last year. Just how many more Americans had their data breached? We have the new numbers coming up. All right, one down. It's rare that I make it through without a big stumble, so that was exciting. Hi, Tara. Thanks for coming in on short notice. Did you have a 10-minute to get a microphone check?
Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Perfect. Okay, so it's the 10th. It's Putnam Pub, the Black Hills Putnam Pub. The Black Hills Putnam, perfect. And so what's going to happen is I'm going to start this either.
Okay.
Did we miss it?
No, I don't think so.
Let's go. Ooh. Oh, bye-bye. Look at these things, man. Look at that server.
That's a big server.
That is great. It's so much cleaner than I thought it would be. I know. I could almost monitor still. Oh my gosh. Bam, bam, bam. Ooh.
Alright. Gotta get everybody in here. Move. You guys can move up a little bit. Yeah.
30 seconds.
30 seconds so we come back. Yeah, Cody's the director. Remember I said how he
Oh, and all the cameras.
on the computer? So right now, all of his work was done before the show started. Right now, he's just hitting the button and going on the next thing. Where you see the PGM, that's what he put on the air. Where you see the preview, that's going to be the next shot he puts on the air.
10 seconds.
You see the prompt there, that's what they're reading out there on the screen. Remember we showed you that?
And 5, 4.
Fisher, home with a 200% oil price guarantee.
Welcome back. Today I'm joined by Tara Wilcox of Black Hills Works, and we are talking about Black Hills Putnam Pub, and it's coming up next week. And what is Putnam Pub?
It's a miniature golf course, and it's hosted by Pubs Downtown Rapid City, and teams of 4 will putt their way through the course. It's a 9-hole course. We've had to double the course, so we now have 2 courses.
Oh, wow.
And teams of 4 compete for the best score, the worst score, and the most competitive, which is the best dressed.
So you don't have to be necessarily really good at putt-putt to participate.
Absolutely not, hence why we have an award for the worst score.
And so what is there like a hole at each pub? Is there a pub crawl? How exactly does the day work?
It's similar to a pub crawl. We will have holes that are hosted at each location, and they decorate their own green. So it can be, we have a Plunko set, we have one that looks more like your, where you roll the ball up at Chuck E. Cheese, and so we have all different types of creative holes that the pubs then host, and then the teams of 4 take a best ball tournament through those throughout the day and play from 11 to 5, and then we wrap up with awards at the end.
And how did this idea come about 6 years ago?
It was actually the brainchild of Brian Munsell after he had seen some in both Washington and Minnesota. And he brought it back and thought it would be a great way to introduce people to Black Hills Works, especially the younger generation. So 6 years ago, we started with 8 teams, and this being our 6th year, we're up to 80 teams.
Wow.
So it is growing, it is very popular. We have its own Facebook page, and people are sharing it with their friends and family. We have businesses that come out and join us and use it as a team building opportunity. So it's just a really good bonding time with friends and coworkers.
And for it to grow that much in just 6 years, you guys must just be getting great feedback every single year. What has the community feedback been for this event?
It has been incredible, and especially coming from the pubs downtown. We have over 15 pubs hosting the 18 holes. They help spread the word. People's word of mouth spreads the word. So I have to admit that we haven't had to do much marketing. This is one that markets itself. Plus, if you're just downtown Rapid City on March 10th, you'll see everyone in green in their costumes, and people ask us, what's going on? And we simply say it's play with a purpose. So a purpose with all of the proceeds benefiting recreational opportunities for people at Black Hills Works throughout the year.
And this is just over a week away, so are there ways people can still get involved, or are you guys full?
Absolutely not. We will take as many who want to join us, and so they can go to blackhillsworks.org and register there, or you can follow our Facebook page, which is just Black Hills Putt and Pub, and there's many links there to join us, or just pick up the phone and give me a call, 718-6207.
And you mentioned this is a way to introduce people to Black Hills Works. For those who don't know what it is, what do you do on a daily basis?
Well, we support over 600 people with developmental disabilities, and we provide every realm of support for quality of life, whether it be medical, whether it be residential, or even vocational support. And so that's what our mission is, but we also have the things that make life meaningful, which is going to be recreation. And so we have an out and about program, we have a fitness center and a gym, and a lot of these proceeds go to helping benefit those areas.
Awesome. Well, Tara, thank you so much for coming in and telling us about this event. I know I can't wait to see all of those costumes wandering around downtown next Saturday.
Thank you, and don't let the weather keep you away.
Yes, no matter the weather, it's going to be a great event.
So Eric, we're putting in our order now.
Well, speaking of Eric, he has his first alert forecast coming up, and he says, enjoy today and tomorrow because some nasty winter weather is headed our way. Your most accurate first alert forecast is next.
Stand by break. And
okay, so weather is next. If you guys want to stay in here and watch it, you can, or if you want to go out there and watch, it's up to you. If you want to separate, you can do whatever you want. Anybody want to stay in here? Do y'all want to go out?
I want to go back over there.
Okay.
oh, we have like.
Is it okay? So I'll be able to put it in.
That, hold on. I was thinking of more and less
He
at the
says,
same time.
if you end up doing it, count us in. We got some guys that can talk on that.
I got even the on-air ones. Look at that. Wow. That's all I can say.
Stop smiling.
Did everybody have a chance to go in there that wanted to?
I think we still have. Did you want to go into the control room?
The weather's saying that there isn't much going on there.
After the weather's
Mostly Aaron carries the show.
Star of the show.
Because they're panicking.
Everybody see okay? You can move over there if you want to now.
Yeah, so that one will be on Eric.
He will come back
this one
here
will come to me.
after weather, yeah. So just,
I'll
yeah,
go
don't be here, but if you want to go,
Yeah.
if you want to come over here.
today
Oh.
because it was a picture of a snake chopped in half with a deer coming out of it. So I thought, let's just do an Oscars package instead. People are eating lunch right now. Oh, here we go.
Now, the First Alert forecast with meteorologist Eric Gardner.
We promised you some 50s this afternoon, and that's what we have right now. Get outside and enjoy this because it's not going to last too much longer. 54 right now in downtown Rapid City. Even the airport's now 51. Nemo 55, Sturgis at 50. Now you folks in Belle Fourche, only about 30 degrees, but 45 in Spearfish, 46 in Hewlett, and at Devil's Tower, 49 degrees at the present time. Warm today, cooler tomorrow, and then we start seeing some deteriorating weather over the weekend. Starting late Sunday in Wyoming, snow showers will develop, and then late Sunday night into Monday in South Dakota. And some of that could be significant, especially north of Interstate 90. And we're going to see some high winds with that system Sunday night and Monday, 30, 40, 50, maybe even 60-mile-per-hour winds on Monday. Monday is going to be a lousy day weather-wise, no doubt about it. And it looks like there could be some problems with travel early next week as the storm moves through. So far, we've seen 51 at the airport, 64 degrees in Denver, quite warm, 55 in Kansas City, even Minneapolis, 37 degrees so far today. That's not too bad. But here comes this big storm. You can see these speckled clouds here off the west coast. That shows this very cold, unstable air of that system moving due east. And as it moves into the Rockies, then into the plains, that's where we're going to see a big change in our weather. Another big storm here in the northeast, a regular nor'easter, causing some extremely high winds and coastal flooding around Boston and other areas, and a lot of flights canceled at some of the major northeastern airports because of that particular storm. Around KOTA territory, had a few snow showers overnight as a warm front moved across the area. Some high clouds coming in from the west at times today, but we're seeing a lot of sunshine right now. It looks like the balance of the afternoon is going to be just beautiful. Again, outdoors sort of weather. This morning we saw 26 at the airport for a low. There's that 51 at the airport, 49 in Pine Ridge. A little cooler off to the north and east, 38 in Pierre. Aberdeen 37, Huron 37, 38 in Sioux Falls. Winds are now finally picking up out of the south at the airport, sustained at 17 miles per hour, 20 miles per hour in Gillette. And for the remainder of the afternoon, it will be fairly breezy across KOTA territory. Here's this strong cold front off to the west today. It will move through Wyoming tomorrow, so you are going to be colder in Wyoming Saturday, and then by late Saturday night and Sunday, the front moves through. The big question is, how are these low pressure areas going to develop, and where are they going to develop once this whole system moves into the plains? That will determine who sees the heaviest amount of precipitation in the form of snow, even freezing rain possibly, as the system moves out of the Rockies into the plains. So Sunday and Monday, not very good weather-wise. We'll be keeping you up to date as we get more information on this storm coming in. Forecast, 55, Rapid City, already there in town, 55 in Keystone, 53 in Hot Springs today, but still in the 30s in Buffalo and Ekalaka. Winds will be south of 15 to 25 miles per hour. Partly cloudy and actually pretty mild considering the time of year for a nighttime low temperature, 20s and low 30s. Winds will be light westerly, a little windier over in Wyoming. Now tomorrow, still 52 in Rapid City, 47 in Wall, 43 in Sundance, but turning colder over the northern plains, 37 in Newell. Northwest winds at 5 to 10, then increasing winds later tomorrow evening. Only 20s on Sunday in Wyoming. So on Sunday in Sheridan and Gillette, occasional snow and blowing snow. And in the northern hills, we're expecting temperatures to be colder, around 30 to 32 on Sunday, with cloudy skies and some snow developing late. Here's the extended forecast on Oscars Sunday. Oscars, of course, exclusively here on KOTA Territory Television Sunday night. Good night to stay inside and watch some blowing snow and only 20s all day long on Monday. Not a nice forecast for the beginning of next week. Mary Helen?
Thanks, Eric. We start our consumer news with information about a product recall. Instant pots sold exclusively at Walmart have been voluntarily recalled over reports of the product overheating and melting, posing a fire hazard. Take a look at the batch code of your Instant Pot. That's located on the bottom. If you have the Jim 65 8-in-1 model, you should immediately stop using it. You can return it to Walmart for a free replacement. And JCPenney is once again cutting jobs in anticipation of a worse than forecasted year by Wall Street. Today, the retailer announced 360 jobs at stores and corporate headquarters will be cut. JCPenney already closed 140 stores and laid off 5,000 employees last year. With the news came a nearly 10% plunge of shares during early trading. 25 of the retail chain said it expects earnings and sales to be lower in 2018 than Wall Street analysts predicted. And sales of new cars and trucks tailed off last month as automakers eased up on discounts. Sales fell from 2% from last February to 1.3 million. Among major automakers, only Toyota, Subaru, and Volkswagen reported a gain. Consumers will likely see those discounts return during the spring and summer when tax returns arrive and more people shop for vehicles. And Equifax says cyber criminals access the personal information of millions more people than first thought in last year's massive data breach. Thursday, Equifax said it discovered another 2.4 million Americans who had their names and driver's license numbers exposed. The company said it will notify the newly discovered victims and offer free identity theft protection and credit monitoring. The credit monitoring agency previously said hackers exposed the information of 145.5 million people. That included social security numbers, driver's license numbers, and addresses. Equifax first reported the breach in September, 3 months after they first discovered it. And coming up, Delta sends a company-wide memo in the wake of their headline-making announcement, taking away discounts for NRA members. And the royal wedding just got a little bit bigger. How Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are involving the public, that's after the break.
You doing the rest of the show from there?
No, I am standing in front of the monitor,
Okay, need to
and then
clear
Eric and
over
I
here.
are on the couch. So
Okay,
we're all on this
so
side.
everybody move on this side.
Is there a way that I could use that other camera?
Maybe after the show we'll see if we can find them and we'll see what you can do.
Cool. Thank you.
Yep. Okay. People that wanted to go
Asher?
in the control room?
Anyone else who hasn't been? I will.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
Tell me which camera you see me on.
All right.
How long do we have, Cody? Oh, okay. Are we heavy? Oh, okay.
That's fine.
That is perfect. I don't think my read rate is right. I think I talk slower now. So like, when scripts are scripted for me, they're like, not long enough. That's right. Except for in this section. I always get excited. Can we scroll up a little bit, please? Just so it's at the top. Yeah, thanks. After cutting ties with the NRA last month, Delta Airlines told employees today the company wants to stay neutral on gun control. The Atlanta-based airline sent out an employee memo saying it supports the Second Amendment and recognizes that employees and customers have a wide range of political views. This comes after Georgia Republicans removed a tax exemption on jet fuel from a bill costing Delta around $50 million. The lawmakers were reacting to Delta's decision to end a discount program for NRA members. Friday's memo also assured employees the company has no plans to relocate out of Georgia. And on top of helping kids build fantastic Lego sculptures, the Lego Group will now help build a greener future. The company is launching a sustainable plant-based Lego piece this year. The pieces include leaves, bushes, and trees and are made using materials sourced from sugarcane. The company says it's a first step in their plan to use sustainable materials in all core products and packaging by 2030. And TV personality and performer RuPaul Charles is getting a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. His ceremony is scheduled for March 16th. Charles is known for his current VH1, RuPaul's Drag Race. He was named one of the top 100 most influential people of 2017 by Time magazine. But RuPaul has a connection to KOTA territory. His husband, George LeBar, is a rancher whose 60,000-acre ranch covers parts of Wyoming and South Dakota. And finally, new details about the royal wedding of Prince Harry and Miss Meghan Markle. Kensington Palace announced today the couple has invited more than 2,600 people onto the grounds of Windsor Castle to share in the wedding festivities. Among those invited are local school children, charity workers, and members of the public. The invitees will be able to watch the arrival of the bride and groom at St. George's Chapel, where the ceremony takes place on May 19th. They will also see the newlyweds depart the castle on a carriage procession through the town of Windsor. And coming up, the headlines might be the work to avoid last year's huge blunder. But after the break, we're taking a look at the movies up for the biggest and most awards at this year's Oscars. Stay tuned. Did they put down the... Nope, I would explain it. No, they didn't put the purpose. I mean, it's not a big deal. I'm just gonna break my neck, Cody. It's fine. Just kidding. That's why I started wearing flats. I don't trust myself. Stepping up and up down.
Well, really, there's no occasion where you see your feet.
No, sometimes on the couch.
Okay, depends on what the shot is.
Yeah, how many of us there are. When there were 4 of us, it was more.